As a kid, I spent many late nights in my room playing Minecraft, building houses, making mob grinders, or just collecting resources for a project I was working on. And if I said I didn't like the game, I'd be lying to myself. But you see, when I was a wee lad, Minecraft was a lot different. There wasn't as much stuff in the game as there is now. And that is because I played in 2012, right around when Minecraft had released version 1.3, which added villager trading, ender chests, and writable books. I mean, it was truly prehistoric times.
This one's mine. Tonight we feast.
But over the years, Minecraft expanded from this simple block game into what it is today, and honestly, I don't like it. It feels like they've added a bunch of slop instead of real thought out updates. For example, 1.20 marked the Trails and Tales update that introduced archaeology into Minecraft by taking a feather, a copper ingot, and a stick and arranging them like this. You could make a brush that could be used on suspicious looking sand or gravel to uncover fossils left behind by the prehistoric Minecraft days. And after you uncover enough bones, you can put them together to make a dinosaur replica and put it on display wherever you want, is what I wish the update entailed. Instead, you have to explore thousands of blocks looking for structures that spawn suspicious looking sand just to get a piece of fucking wheat. You see what I'm saying? This update could have been awesome. It could have added so much more to the game. How cool would it have been to be clearing land for your house or something and stumble upon some suspicious looking dirt and brush it off to find like a fossilized dinosaur skeleton? But anyway, back to the update. If you get real lucky, you might find this structure, if you can even call it that. This is called a trail ruin, and normally you will see some colored clay and some suspicious looking gravel or sand. And if you've played Minecraft, you might think that this is where you get the sniffler egg, but no. For some reason they made it so you can only find a sniffler egg in a warm ocean biome, making this structure almost completely fucking irrelevant. And while we're on the topic, what the fuck is a sniffler? I mean, most of Minecraft's animals are based on real animals, like the cow, the chicken, and the wolf. And you would expect them to stay true to the art style and add another real animal. But instead they just decided that they have free will and can do whatever they want. And proceeded to add one of the weirdest fantasy creatures in the game, completely going against how Minecraft implements new animals. And now you might be saying, but dang, what about the guest? It's a fantasy creature. And to that, first I would say, bro, why do you sound like that? And second, I would say you're right. And I think that that's the problem. Minecraft has always suffered from an identity crisis. Kind of like a divorced middle-aged man who randomly decides to get a Harley Davidson and grow out his beard. I mean, it's just awkward. But also, it's not wrong to have a realistic and a fantasy game combined into one if you do it right. But Minecraft just kind of adds whatever they want to the game without any clear reason to do so. And a really, really good example of this is copper. When Minecraft added copper in June of 2021, there wasn't a whole lot to do with it. In fact, every time a player came across copper while mining, they would just look the other way. I mean, it was almost completely useless. There were only 3 crafting recipes that used copper, that being the lightning rod, blocks of copper, and the spyglass. Now, this is a prime example of adding something into the game without thinking about the mechanics of that item. In fact, we didn't get many more uses for copper until 4 years, 3 months, and 29 days later when Minecraft added the update, the Copper Age, in 2025. And while it has a lot more uses than it did before, you can still argue that it was unnecessary. Okay, I'm done with the Minecraft rant. Let's get into what this video is actually about. So, Hytale just dropped after almost 11 years in development. And while I can't say much about the game because I haven't played it a lot, I can at least say that I'm happy that it's here. Because Minecraft went 15 years without a real competitor in the open world block game sandbox genre. But now that we have Hytale and another game that I will get to in a minute, these games, in my opinion, are absolutely great for the consumer, no matter if you love Hytale or hate Hytale. Let me explain. So, like I said, Minecraft has basically had a monopoly over the open world block game genre for 15 years. And that's why I think we keep seeing updates that make no sense aren't fun to play, and aren't what the community want. I'm looking at you, the end update. But my hopes for Hytale is that it will rival Minecraft and create a fierce competition between both of these titles, fighting to take each other's players, because competition is the best thing that can happen to Minecraft. If Minecraft starts losing players to Hytale, then we might just get that end update everyone has been waiting years for. We might actually start getting updates that add more than just new variants to the Minecraft baby mobs. And let's be real, this update couldn't have took more than a week to make, and that's being generous. But Hytale isn't the only other game competing with Minecraft right now. In fact, let me introduce you to this game called Vintage Story. Now, when Hytale came out, I bought it and I played it for about an hour. And granted, that really isn't long enough to judge a game, but I just felt like from what I played, it wasn't for me. So I ended up looking elsewhere for other games to scratch the itch. And I came upon a game called Vintage Story. And oh man, let me tell you, if you don't think Hytale is for you, and you want a more realistic survival experience made for big boys, no hate to Hytale by the way, this is mainly a diss at Minecraft, then you have to try Vintage Story. Vintage Story used to be a Minecraft mod pack that went off and came back as a full standalone game for only 20 euros. And it's like, if Bear Grylls made Minecraft, this is what he would make. Vintage Story is one of those games that look innocent at first glance, with pixel graphics, pretty lighting, and cozy vibes. The type of game that you would assume would be pretty laid back and easy to play, but that assumption would be wrong. You see, Vintage Story is Minecraft if the survival mechanics were turned up to 9,000. For example, making an anvil in Minecraft is stupidly easy. You mine 31 raw iron ore, smelt it into bars, craft 3 iron blocks, and then craft your anvil. I mean, you could probably do this within 5 minutes from the very start of the game, but now if we look at Vintage Story, you'll see a huge difference. You start by picking up sticks, then collecting some nappable stones, then you will nap the stones into a knife, an axe, and a shovel head. Next you turn them into a tool by adding a stick, then creating a fire starter along with a torch, and using the fire starter to ignite the torch. After that you'll cut down some trees with your axe, make some firewood, then placing all the firewood you made into a 3x3 and cover the top. Place a campfire in the middle. This is going to make the fuel that you need to smelt. Next we excavate some clay, then turn that clay into a crucible, an anvil, and a pickaxe mold. Next we place these molds into a 1x1, cover it with dry grass, add some sticks on top, and then add some firewood and light it on fire. This is going to fire your clay like in real life and make it hold the shape. What the fuck? Then we go back to the 3x3 we made earlier and collect our charcoal. Cut some cattails for rope and create some wooden tongs. Next we look for any copper bits on the ground, smelt them, and pour them into the pickaxe mold. Now you can mine. After mining the copper, we use the hammer to make copper bits, smelt them and pour them into the anvil mold, and now you have an anvil. And while this clip makes it look easy, this is no easy task. Some of these steps take multiple in-game days to do. Also in Vintage Story, every single mechanic is 10 times deeper than Minecraft. For example, in Minecraft when you cook some food, you'll never have to worry about it going bad. But in Vintage Story, your food will turn into rot if you don't eat it within a certain amount of time. And while this mechanic can get annoying, there's also another mechanic to help you preserve your food for longer. It's called building a cellar. You see, if you don't know what a cellar is, back in the old days when my papa had to walk 20 miles in snow up to his neck to get to school, they had these things called cellars. Now basically a cellar is a place underground where you put food and drinks to preserve them. And this was the meta before refrigerators. Cellars buried underground stay pretty cold and dry if you build them right. And this was the only way to preserve food for longer periods of time, unless you canned vegetables or made jerky. And this is just one of the many in-depth mechanics used in Vintage Story. By digging under your house and placing pots of sealed cooked food, you can preserve them for a way longer time than just keeping it in a normal chest or in your inventory. And while I can't go into everything Vintage Story has to offer, I can tell you that I've been playing it a lot recently. And if Hytale hasn't caught your attention, and you still want something to scratch that itch, then I strongly recommend trying Vintage Story for yourself. Oh, and hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, let me show you something. Oh shit, I'm sorry. I actually meant to grab this. Holy fuck, I didn't mean to do that. I'm sorry. Well, anyway, this is weird now. Just please subscribe. I love you.